Hi, this is Kim, and I am currently walking a vlog series documenting my process of walking through and out of obsessive compulsive disorder. For me, obsessive compulsive disorder affects pretty much every area of my life, and I'd managed for my whole life to in most circumstances keep it at bay and be able to function, but it's been an underlying presence and kind of undermining issue in my life that's held me back from a lot, and um, what feels like has kept me prisoner within myself for a long time. And for me, my OCD is expressed mainly and most destructively in skin picking, which for some reason I find is a release for anything from fear, anxiety, stress, and boredom. I mean, really anything. It's not just one thing. And so I'm walking this process in writing and in vlogging and keeping myself accountable and keeping track of and getting to know the disorder and how it affects me, and basically scripting myself a new way to live that is actually beneficial to myself, and slowly I'm extracting this disorder from my life. The process is extremely slow because I've found myself over the years really looking for and hoping for some kind of quick fix. I guess that's what medication is, because you take a pill and you feel better. Um, but I am not convinced that there is a quick fix that is um, sustainable or substantial or healthy or really beneficial to the being that is going for the quick fix. Um, at least not for me personally. I've never tried medication, but I'm not willing to go there um, until I give it my all and really walk this process of writing and blogging and developing the resolve and the discipline and the self-will that it will require to be able to take back my ability to direct myself and make my decisions and what I do with my body in my own hands and my life, and to be able to really be the one that's making the decisions in my life and not have some outside, or not even outside, but some internal force making big decisions for me, and directing my actions and behaviors, and even directing who I am and my personality. So one of the things I had mentioned in my last video was a tip, a support tip, wherein I was explaining how, with, for example, skin picking, but you can apply this formula to anything really. Anything OCD related, but really anything in your life where there's a problem. And so what I was talking about was when when do you stop yourself? And because it just is absolutely, seemingly absolutely impossible to stop this behavior, which for me is skin picking. For many, it's nail picking, nail biting. Any bad habits that have a destructive influence in your life, prevent you from doing things that you would otherwise want to do or otherwise enjoy. So I was saying that when the action seems innocent, so for me it's when, I'm just watching television or a glimpse in the mirror or driving or something, and my mind starts to wander, my hands start to kind of run over my skin, and I would have thoughts about, you know, picking my skin, and I'd feel roughness and stuff and want it to be smooth, because for me it's also a texture issue. So, but it's in those moments where you haven't gone into it yet. You haven't, the obsessive compulsive behavior hasn't started and hasn't taken over. It's those instances where I find I still have the power and the presence to be able to stop myself So I was applying this in my life, and today I have an hour drive to and from work, and that hour in the car is really challenging for me because um, they say with other addictions, you can um, walk away from you can walk if you have a food addiction, alcohol, you can remove the substance from your life, but when your addiction is, your own action, you can't remove yourself from it. It's with you always. And so for me, my drive to work and home from work in the car is really a challenging time because I have to be so diligent with what's going on with me. Where are my hands? Where is my mind? Otherwise, I will completely automatically and not even within any kind of awareness be, scratching at myself. And um, so I have a lot to say about this because it's what's going on in my mind, the thoughts that are leading to this. But um, I was saying that that is the moment where I still have the power to stop myself. And I was applying that today in my car. And what I noticed was that I have to stop myself probably, I mean, I didn't count, but maybe 100 times, maybe more. I don't know. It seemed like a million. And um, what I ended up utilizing and what I want to share in this video is anger, because there's a lot of emotions and feelings involved with obsessive compulsive disorder and skin picking, nail biting, hair pulling, any of these disorders where there's a lot of self-victimization that goes on and a lot of unneeded, unnecessary self-sabotaging feelings and emotions that are created and manifested because of the disorder itself. They lead to the disorder and then they're perpetuated and increased exponentially by the disorder itself. And so they're not very useful or practical, but there's anger. There's a lot of, if anybody who has these disorders would be able to understand that there's a lot of anger at oneself involved in the disorder, because it's like, why do I do this to myself? And then you just do it, and then you're so angry that you've done it, but it's like it was unstoppable. And what I found was giving me the resolve in my car today on the way home from work was channeling this anger and taking a stand within myself that no, I am not going to let myself, I'm not going to let my hands roam, I am not going to let myself scratch at myself or pick myself, and channeling that anger and creating this stance of, I don't care if I have to do this all night, this stopping myself. I will not stop stopping myself if it goes on forever because I am so angry, and I'm going to use that anger to keep myself in check, basically. And so what I noticed was I was able to stop myself, and when it was so automatic and beneath my level of awareness that I would, get my hands would be get going on something, um, I was able to stop myself in the middle of it and just stop, because I find another point that comes up is that when you start at something, um, once it's already started, it's like, oh, well, I can't stop now. I've already started. I've already done the damage, and there's no point. I might as well just continue. Like found I was holding on to this point previously of stopping myself only before I had started. But once I had started, it was like everything was just too late, and now it was done, and um, now there's no point in stopping. But that's a whole other point that I'd like to discuss in another vlog. Being able to stop mid-session, mid-possession is another really cool point to consider, that there is no right time to stop. You just stop as soon as you become aware and push yourself to continue stopping. and developing, with my writing, the self-worth, and actually reining in a lot of the issues that are causing the anxious thoughts and the fear thoughts. And so actually diminishing the emotional and feeling, the internal energies and the internal environment that create, this experience that needs to be escaped through the obsessive compulsive disorder, diminishing that by actually taking actions in my physical reality in the actual outside world, and then also practicing building the resolve and the willpower to just keep on constantly and continuously stopping yourself, because when you do that, the moment the energy goes away, because it does diminish, is the most amazing feeling, because it's like, yes, I did that. I stopped myself, and now my physical state is at a benefit. Like, I have built something instead of diminishing and destroying something. I have put one block in place, and block by block, you build up a new self relationship, a new who you are that does not include the obsessive compulsive disorder. But like I said at the beginning of this video, it is a long process. There is no quick fix, because it took a lifetime to build and create this disorder, and it will take time to now train oneself to walk out of it, stop the addiction, stop the cycles and the repetitiveness, and really moment by moment, tiny little step by tiny step, block by block, building yourself anew. Thank you.